Welcome to Iowa Pagan News, your informative internet radio station catering to all pagans worldwide. We are dedicated to bringing you the very best in music, news, events, and lots of fun stuff. Come tune into our new podcast at www.plrdn.podbean.com. Now, here's your host, Lou Silverwolf Williams.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to a second round of Pagan Artist Spotlight on the National Pagan Podcast Network and Iowa Pagan News. Appreciate everyone tuning in on a regular basis. You all matter to us quite a great deal here. So this afternoon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Coco, and also special guest Debbie from Utah Pagan Market. And I definitely want to thank you for taking time out to come join us this afternoon, talking about what you've got going on over there and learn more about what you're doing.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So now, how long have you been in the community?
It's been about 10 years, mostly as a solo practitioner, studying on my own. Of course, coming from Utah, everybody has to ask. Yes, I do have LDS Mormon background, but it's been about 10 years that I've stepped into the pagan community fully. So yeah, 10 years.
Nice. Now, okay, so what convinced you to follow your pagan path now?
Just it felt more, I would say, natural to who I am. I would say that my spirituality, once I've kind of took down the walls of religion, my spirituality quadrupled, and this is where I feel most at home. Right here in the pagan community, I feel like I can be myself. I feel like I can worship how I like, and obviously supporting me as a solo practitioner. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, I'm just going off of what you've got here on your Facebook page, and I'm glad that you've got the definition of paganism up, and basically, so. Tell us what brought about the idea for your pagan market.
You know, I just, coming from a religious background that had a very strong emphasis on community, one thing that I love about paganism is we all can kind of find our own path and find our own spirituality. And that is critical to me. I respect that above all others, that some people find a specific religion, some people... It's up to the individual to develop their belief system and follow what works best for them. So, but for me, coming up in a very strict religious community and having the support of my religious family, and then stepping away from that and kind of stepping into self-study and learning things and filling it out for myself, I really felt a loss of that community support. So my idea for starting the pagan market was especially in Utah to provide a place for pagans to come together, a safe space where we can come enjoy community. I believe in strengthening the community, and I think that the basic foundation of community is small business. The basic unit is obviously the individual and then family units, but small business, small local business. So the market kind of hits a couple of spots. It brings a place where people can come together, a safe space where we can come and maybe find our people, have good conversation. I always have coffee. I always have vendors there, small businesses. So it kind of hit a couple of spots for me as far as what I believe in.
Does the market happen like on weekends? Is it permanently open for people to come in and shop?
So the market happens on the last Sunday of every month. And we started in Sandy, Utah. That's about 20 minutes south of Salt Lake City. So our first location was at a coffee shop. I collaborated with the business owner of the coffee shop. He wanted to bring more traffic through his business. So it served that purpose as well. And then we just this last market opened a second location that's about an hour north of where the first market is. So we had two, and then I had somebody reach out an hour south of where the original market is. We're going to open up a third market in the Provo-Orem area. So we're really excited about that. We have a lot of people wanting to get involved. All three markets happen on the same day. But yeah, once a month we meet.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And how widely has it been received?
Say again?
How widely has it been received?
Actually, it's been received really well. I get a lot of people that say, whatever you do, don't stop doing this. You're doing a lot of good for the community. Keep going. It can get discouraging as starting any venture like this. It can be very discouraging, but this has just been one high after another. The vendors are very happy. Everything's gone really well.
And have you run on any kind of resistance at all?
Not really, not yet, which surprises me a little bit. We're going a little bit more public. We actually had a local news station show up unannounced at our last market, and so I mean we're kind of starting to get more publicly known. So we'll see. But so far received really well with the community and outside of paganism. We have a lot of people that are just curious and want to know more about it, which was a goal of mine, to kind of raise awareness and to raise community through education, raise community acceptance of paganism.
Cool.
It's always a little scary when the news gets involved because
we've had a couple people mention that. Yeah, we've had a couple people mention that.
I would say, yeah, I've seen the video that you posted from the TV station. It's like, well, at least it was really positive.
Yeah, it was. I was happy to see that. And it was on a very conservative news station as well. So I was really happy to see that.
Cool. Now, seeing how you're going to be opening up the third one, I mean, are you wanting to have this be something that other places can pick up on and be able to do something in surrounding states?
I am more than open to that. My day job is a business strategist in the dental industry. So I kind of specialize in large events like this. So I wanted to apply my talents and my gifts in that realm. So I have actually set it up that it can easily be moved, easily be replicated. I am more than open-minded to anybody in their own area that wants to run and manage and open a market. I'm happy to help them organize that. So this is definitely my passion and in a sense, my gift to the pagan community. So that's absolutely something I'm open-minded to.
Rococo, why does the idea of or the vision of Diagon Alley come to mind?
You have said that before when we were talking about having our market space in the building we're trying to get. And it's all these magical people coming together. And I have seen, going to like Pagan Pride in Eugene, a lot of their booths are pretty cool how they have it set up.
Yeah. There has been, I have to admit, I go around and spend more money than I would bring in on anything like this. I go spend money at all the booths. There's some really talented artists and some really talented herbalists and some really clever artwork. It's been a real pleasure to see people pour their heart and souls into their work, and it's really cool to see that. It is very magical.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things is walking through, even at my shop, is don't spend the money on the things the vendors are bringing in. You have bills first.
Exactly. My house is full of trinkets. As you can see behind me, I have trinkets everywhere.
That's the hard part when you're running events like that, and then you wind up walking through and seeing everybody's booth is a I can't. Nope. I have to refrain.
Yep. Yeah. Definitely a struggle.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Because I do that all the time when I'm, especially when I'm doing music or doing an MC or whatever for events, and then I'd go walking through the vendor area, and I'm like, hey, like, how much money did I bring with me?
Yep. Yep. My trick is I take cash. I decide beforehand this is how much I'm going to spend, but I always find something that I want that costs more. I always do.
I was gonna say that doesn't really work for me, unless I purposely leave my card back at home, but I can't do that either.
Yeah.
Okay, so now do you also run your own shop as well, or?
I do. I have a shop called Eastside Witch, and it actually was meant to be an online learning platform. It's taken a back burner to this project. Hopefully, I'll be able to develop that a little bit further in the near future now that I've got the Pagan Market up and running smoothly. But yes, I do have my own shop with spell and ritual soaps, a couple of handmade items. So yeah, it collaborates well. The two businesses work well together.
Do you have an Etsy page up with that stuff, or do you sell it?
I don't. I have my own web page. It's called Eastside Witch, eastsidewitch.com. Yeah. So I have some small, just a small shop on there. It was kind of the beginnings of a business, but this one took front seat and priority.
Right. What else was I going to ask here? So with the Pagan Market now, how big most all of us, we have this vision of going big or going home, and right. How big do you plan to take?
Well, the idea is community first. My core values are community, connection, and tradition. Mm-hmm. And so the community, I want there to be several small breakout markets. That's what I'm calling them. The monthly market is a breakout market in your local community, meant to be kept small, on a small scale, and a boutique market, mostly so people can come together every month, have a coffee, enjoy some good conversation. And then twice a year, I already have on the calendar and scheduled a Samhain festival. It's at a theme park by us called Evermore Park. And that's where you can go, like, all year round. You can go dressed up in costume. It's almost like a Renaissance fair. It's almost like a permanent Renaissance fair. So I rented out the whole park. Utah Pagan Market has the whole park. We're going to do a Samhain festival. It's going to be beautiful. And then I'd like to do 6 months later a Beltane festival. I haven't quite got the location planned for that, but those are on a much bigger scale. On a larger scale, I'm hoping for about 5,000 people to attend those festivals. But the smaller market stays about 500. We see about 500 to 800 people on a really crowded, busy day. 800 people go through the market. But the idea is to keep it small and simple so that people can connect.
Right. So do you have anybody else working with you?
No, please. Do you know anybody? Any volunteers? Not even volunteers. We've got, I would love to have some help. The two other markets that got started, I had shop owners approach me, or businessmen approach me. Businesswomen, approach me and say, hey, I want to do this up there. I said, awesome. They're running the markets, and obviously they take a cut of what that market brings in. It's not really lucrative. None of us are in it for the money. It's for the connections. So, but yeah, if you guys know anybody, please send them my way. I'd love to have help. It's been a big undertaking. It is.
Well,
I know what it's like.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just thinking, because with the two that you've got running now, and plus opening up the third, I'm like, okay, there's no way one person can do this. It's like,
yeah, I planned it so that it's very, I hate to say like plug and play. I don't mean to downplay it. It's a very spiritual experience to come to the market. But I planned it and organized it so that it's very easy to open up another market. And I did that on purpose in hopes that people would step up and say, hey, I want this for my community. Great, let's make it happen. Here's a list of things I need from you. And usually it's someone that owns a small business that they want to promote their business, because it does get people, people become aware of businesses that otherwise they wouldn't have been aware of. So yeah, I'm very open. It's very easy to start up and open up a market in any area.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely something that we're definitely have to look into for the school area up there in Eugene. Definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah, I have a tiny parking lot out front, and I'm trying to make on Sundays, whenever the driver school doesn't have anything in the parking lot, a tiny little gathering there. But now the summer's over.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I targeted. I found places that have indoor. We do have the one market that's south of here. They will have kind of an indoor outdoor element. So in the wintertime, I plan that because Utah winters are so harsh. And all of our farmer markets, everything shuts down in the wintertime. So I purposely planned a place that we can do inside. But yeah, that's, if you wanna chat, let's get it going. Let's get it going. I can show you my model. We can do it anyway.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
I definitely agree, and I've already been thinking about should be something that I could easily bring to the community here in Iowa and get started here in Iowa as well. So
right,
it wouldn't be that difficult.
Yeah, let's chat. I have it all organized. I'll hand it over to you. This is my passion. I want to bring this to the pagan community. We need it so bad. So bad.
We really do.
And it's time to open minds, because a lot of communities, and especially in Utah, they just aren't aware. It's just a lack of awareness. So when you tell somebody I'm pagan, or, people will ask, so what are you doing for business? The Utah pagan market. And they always, pagan? like it's a bad word. So, I mean, it's time that we raise awareness, and it's time that we are able to come out and be proud of who we are and what we do.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Now, the whole point that I wanted to bring you on is, this is definitely something that I wanted to have you on so we can raise awareness of what we have to offer to the community, not just the pagan community, but the community in general, and to be able to open this up and to show people that, hey, we can do markets just as well as like any other flea market or whatever you got. And it's and plus you're going to find a lot more cool stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, there's some, we have one booth that they do. I need to go talk to them. They get into poisons and antidotes, which I don't know. That's what he told me. And I'm like, I got to research that a little more, but he does sell things like black widow venom and things like that. But we also have a booth that sells, she does bone. We have a lot of bone art and taxidermy art that's very, very beautiful, very tastefully done. It's just some really cool stuff. It's some really cool stuff. We have a lot of people that aren't pagan that love to come to the market and look at because it's so unique. It's so unique.
Interesting. Somebody come to me and wants to do a booth with the poisons and antidotes. I'm like, let me think about that one.
Yeah, let me be clear. We're not ingesting these poisons. He's like, no.
Make sure, these are not illegal to sell, right?
We have to be very careful what we're giving to the public, don't we?
Oh man, I'm like that's even a first for me. I'm like, wait a minute.
I didn't know. I mean, I guess they had to have been able to milk the Black Widow venom
How
to
though?
make an
How?
antidote.
That's what
Yeah,
I want.
right. Like snakes, they can grab them and put them on there, but a spider, you like smash it on, like just
Yeah,
trying to.
right. I wonder if it's something too that's like when you extract oils from herbs, you dilute it. It's not the actual. In most cases, it's a diluted because you only get a tiny bit, right? I wonder if it's something like that. Could it be diluted? It was in a little itty bitty vial, but I'm like, that has to be 20 spiders worth right there. There's no way that's one spider.
Now I want to YouTube it when we get off of here today.
Yeah,
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 no kidding.
go check it out.
Because that could fall under a controlled substance, I think.
It could, almost could. It must be diluted. Diluted.
May right.
Yeah, it must be diluted. It would have to be. But some really cool artisans and some really cool products. And then of course all the crystals in the whole world. So
And then like when at Pagan Pride here, there was the tarot readers, and then the artists that had their paintings that were like for meditative reasons, or their art. The artwork was fantastic.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing too. We always include somebody like a sound bath practitioner, or we had a live musician this last market. So we always do some form of live entertainment. And then we also have a couple of featured readers at each market. So a lot of it is just people trying to get their stuff out there, and it gives them a moment in the spotlight. So it's been really cool. I've seen some incredible connections happen. There was this one group. So this man came in and introduced himself, and he runs a Norse pagan group, and he was telling me a little bit about it and said that his whole clan was going to be there, and they were going to bring their families. So he left to go meet his clan out in the parking lot, and I had another man walk in, and he was a little bit quiet, and he says, "Do you have any Norse pagans?" And I almost laughed because it sounded like he was shopping around, and then I looked at his face and he was a little bit timid, and I realized that he's looking for his people. He's looking for people to connect with. And I said, there actually was a group that approached me. And right then, this man and his whole clan came walking up. And I said, "Oh, hey, you said you're Norse pagan, right? This is so-and-so." And that clan surrounded that man, and they put their heads together, and it gave me chills. I welled up. It was incredible to see the connections, the brotherhood. You could feel it right there in that moment. But to see the connections that have happened at the market, this is what I'm doing it for. Where otherwise, where do you find your people? How do you find people to connect with that are of like mind? And that was one example of just the beautiful connections that have taken place. So that's what keeps me going. That's what drives me forward with it. So it's been really good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's working out well, and that people are really receptive to it. And it sounds like it. I mean, you're already going to be starting up the third one. So, I mean, we could potentially have a lot more that people are taking to other areas now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good that we have this.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Ready to go. You just let me know when. It's ready.
It's definitely something that we will have to look into for around the school area, because that's something that we could easily do, and then once we have that up and running, we're getting closer to it.
Yep. Good. Very good. We need it so bad. We really need it.
Now, are you planning on going back to, doing what you're doing there? Now that the pagan markets are established, and so that you can continue doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I will step back from it a little bit. My plan is to not be so heavily involved in personally running the market. Now that we have a couple of other locations and people running those markets, and we're going to get one more, I will stay involved and visit the markets, but it's not all dependent on me being there the whole time. I will step back from the management of it a little bit, and it's been incredible to see. As a business person, in the back of your mind, you always think, well, nobody can do it as well as I can, right? But the couple of managers that I have, they are just incredible women. They are just as passionate about the whole project as could be. And it's been really beautiful to see it come together. I feel like I can let go. It is in good hands, and there's a lot of people passionate about this. And like I keep saying, it's so needed. And I think other people are kind of catching on to that. Somebody said to me, "This is not your project. You have been called to this, but you don't own it. You need to let other people take part. Other people need this just as much as you do." And that helped me release it. That helped me release the energy of it. That I don't need to hold on to it tight. I don't need to control it or watch it to make sure it's going to succeed. Other people are called to this task as well. So it's been beautiful to see.
Yeah. So Coco, you want to fill her in on exactly what we've got going for the school, so that you can fill her in?
Yes, please.
Well, winter term launches January 9th. And we are moving to hourly pay now for professors. So before they were independent contractors, but once we're licensed and accredited, we can't have independent contractors on any of the staff.
Right.
It all has to be hourly or salary.
Mm-hmm.
So we're moving to that in preparation for that next big step. We have been open for a year officially. August 16th was our 1 year. And we are making moves now to try to get a campus. So
Excellent.
yeah, we got to get some major fundraising in. But like you said earlier, when you said, having these markets brings the community out, because there's still a lot of fear and everything. I feel like I'm encountering that here. People are not willing to or ready to have such a big presence, because it does right now, even in today, it puts kind of a target on your back.
It does. It's so misunderstood, isn't it? It's so misunderstood.
Yeah. So I'm working through that, working on gaining, because trust is important. So I'm working on gaining the trust of the community here to see that I mean what I say, and I am going to make it happen.
Good.
We will have a campus. We will be the first one in the history to be fully licensed and accredited.
That is so exciting. Is there anything I can do to help? I mean, I am totally bought into this, and if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know.
We need to spread the word.
Okay.
Get students enrolled, get teachers. We have fundraisers up. We need sponsors. There's, like $75, you can get a brick that will be on our walkway or in our fence.
Oh, cool.
Different things like that you could put your name on or have it etched in there. So different fundraising techniques. That's our biggest challenge right now, is the funding, because getting a campus is not cheap.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It's not.
Yeah. Neither is being licensed or accredited, because all of that costs.
Right. Remind me, and we had talked about this, Earl, a little bit on the phone the other day. Remind me what the name of this school is again.
Olympus Academia.
That's right. And is it online right now? It's mostly
It is.
Okay.
It's
but you are
online.
having a campus where people can come in person.
That's our next step. Hopefully.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That's really exciting.
So
And
enroll in classes right now.
Very cool. Okay.
Yep. The building that we're looking at is basically the former city building.
Yeah.
And I mean, this sucker is huge, man. I'm like, this is gonna be a A huge campus.
Right on the river. They had asked us to submit proposals for it. They did not put a price tag on it, so I got a little creative. I was like, I'll offer you a percentage of, this for however long we have a campus in town.
Oh, wow.
And then another company who has developed quite a few parcels in Eugene has the funding for it. But at the board meeting yesterday we just went to, they canceled the RFP completely, which was the request for proposals.
Oh,
because
yeah.
the two businesses that submitted all the paperwork that were needed were like apples and oranges. They couldn't compare them enough to even assign points to any of the categories, which means now we can go straight to the general manager and negotiate without having to wait for a committee to be assigned, without having to wait for any of that.
Oh, wow.
So I already have an email in there. Like, tell me what we need. You already said we had the vision, just not the finances. So tell us what you need for finances and we'll make it happen.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it because eventually I am going to be relocating out to Eugene.
Oh, are you?
Yes, I will be relocating out there because I am officially a part of the school. So
he's keeper for the House of the Wolf.
Awesome.
One of the board members.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Oh, it's so cool. It's so cool. It's so exciting. It's really exciting.
Yep, it is. It's something that all of us are really excited about. We're looking forward to it, and especially myself. I mean, I never would have imagined something like this taking place, but now that it is coming to reality, I'm glad to be a part of it.
I mean, can you imagine a full-size university eventually for the metaphysical community? Like there's nothing. There are places like the Cherry Hill Seminary. They have a campus with where you have to go live on and take their courses. The Gray School of Wizardry is in New York, I believe, and they have 9 acres, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
But they also have the religious exemptions and that type of thing. So I'm going beyond that in the hopes, like just how you said, your market can be set up anywhere. I'm hoping that by doing the battles that I'm doing and getting the status that I'm working for, it will encourage the schools across the nation to also set their sights, like go after being more official, if that makes sense.
No, that's incredible. You're paving the way. You're paving the way. And when you do that, it's so much work. It's so much work, but it makes it easier for, like you say, for others to follow behind you.
That's a precedent.
Yeah. Very cool.
And plus, I'm probably going to have a building for the radio station.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a must. That is must.
That is what I've been working towards ever since I started this whole journey back in 2012. And so, needless to say, I'm probably going to have the building I want.
Yes. That is definitely important. That is.
Cool.
It's so cool. I think it's great what you guys are doing. I think it's great.
Okay, now
hearing more about the markets and everything, I really like the community that you're aiming for as well.
Yeah.
Seems like we have the same goal, and we're taking.
It does. I love it. It makes me happy. It makes me feel not so alone in my endeavors.
Well, especially with you being in Utah, which is granted a practically Mormon state. And it's really surprising that you decided to do this. And then also what I'm going to do is have, since you're also there in Utah, I'm going to also have the owner of the Metaphysical Times newspaper reach out to you as well, so that they can get you guys into the paper.
Christy and I are already working together. So
good deal.
Yep. She's awesome. We keep her newspaper at all our markets, and she helps us out to spread the word. So yes, we're in good with Christy.
Excellent. Glad to hear that. Now, people can also go to your website, the UtahPaganMarket.com,
Yep.
and where they can find the information and the locations and the time.
Yep. Yep. They can find the events. They can find out more information about what's going on at each market, the featured readers and the vendors that will be there. Also get information on being a part of the market. So, yep, it's all on there.
Excellent.
It is.
All right. Well, I definitely want to thank you for taking time out to come join us and to learn more about what you've got going on. And I'm really looking forward to hearing more and to see the pagan markets grow.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here. I look forward to collaborating with you guys some more.
Same.
Well, and really, Utah is not that far off from Oregon.
No, it's not. It's just a quick
Wait,
drive. I'll come up there.
That's so funny. Okay, somebody was just in here earlier today in my shop, and her partner are taking a very slow kind of meander through the U.S., like the West Coast, to see where they want to settle. And she's like mentioned she was from Utah, and she's like, it's surprising how close it is. You would think I had never left my house.
Yeah, yep, it is. I've been to Eugene a few times. I love Eugene. So I definitely would make a trip up there to see what it is you're doing. Definitely.
That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Especially once we get a campus. I'll give you a tour.
Oh my gosh, yes. I will have to see that.
Cool. All right, Debbie. Thank you for taking time out to come join us. This has been fun, and I look forward to keeping in touch. And if there's anything that, if there's anything I can do for you here at IAPN Radio, let me know. And I've already put out stuff on a couple of the pagan vendor groups that I belong to about pagan markets, and
very cool.
And so that way people can get in contact directly with you.
Very cool. Thank you so much for doing that. And likewise, please let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys.
Will do.
Very cool. Look forward to keeping in touch.
All right. Okay. Now, as always, if you like what we've got going on here at IAPN Radio, be sure to take a look at our donation site. That way you can help support what we've got going on here at IAPN Radio. That way we can keep going with the programming. We can keep up on the day-to-day expenses for running the station. Plus, we've also got fundraisers going up all the time. So if you'd like to help donate, contribute, what we're doing here is much appreciated. And if you have questions directly, you can contact us directly at iowapagannews@gmail.com. Me personally at Earl at iapnradio.net. And then Rococo, you want to give us your email?
At olympusacademia@gmail.com.
I always have to stop and think about that one.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate everyone who tunes in on a regular basis. And we will see you again next week. And for a lot more coming up here at IAPN Radio. Have a good night, folks. We're going to be out of here for the night. Appreciate it.
Bye. I'm so awkward when I...
Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast. All shows are recorded and available for download at plrdn.podbean.com. All rights are reserved and may not be replayed without written permission by IAPN Radio Management. Come join us at our new group, IAPN Radio on Facebook, where you can be kept up to date for future broadcasts. Pleasant journeys, everyone.